Hi guys, I'm Gagasita, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna swatch the Hela palette and see if the description of the colors inside it that you find in the Odens website are just the way I see the colors in real life, and how does these colors compares to the others Odens eyeshadows. I would give you looks in this palette. This is why in the beginning of the video you will see me without any makeup, but unfortunately this video I have already edited this video and it's so dang long, so you will see more looks with the palette. This is, I'm promising, I am already recording them, so don't you worry, you're gonna see some inspiration from me with this palette so soon, okay? So now, to see the swatches, just keep on watching. First of all, the eyeshadow palette came in this beautiful box here. Then since I was one of the first order, they give me the thin scarf here, which is a really nice. Yes, look at the color. I love the fact that it's double-sided, so we have like the green side in one part and then the black and white side in the other. It's a nice thing, but the most interesting thing is of course this one here, the eyeshadow palette that I will forever keep the sleeve that came with this beautiful artwork here on the front. I will leave the Angelica Nyqvist video down below so you can actually see she explaining everything about this history behind it, okay? So you have the sleeve, but then when you open the sleeve it's colorful, and I don't know actually what one do I prefer. They are both beautiful, really beautiful, right? This is the color story. It's this yellow-green eyeshadow palette leaning to pink. It's a really unique and interesting color story, but let's swatch the whole eyeshadow palette, okay? I will swatch on my clean arm with my fingers. I refer to my skin tone like a medium tan skin tone with an extremely olive undertone, so I already know these two rows here will look fantastic on my olive skin tone. And then maybe I love wear pinks on my dailies, and these four colors here, wait for it. It's my first time swatching the palette, so bear with me. I will read you the color description that Odens give you. The first color is Rebirth, and it's described as a matte yellowish eyeshadow, and it's a really pastel yellow shade, which, yeah, on me, I don't know how it's gonna look like, but I like this kind of colors because yellow, it's a color hard to formulate, and pastel yellow tends to look a little chalky, so in my arm it doesn't seem like to be a chalky pastel shade, but when I place it on my eyes we're gonna see. The next color is Fluorescent, this one here, and Fluorescent it's described as firefly-like yellow-green shimmery eyeshadow, and yes, it's definitely a yellow-green shimmery eyeshadow. The next color it's Underworld, and it's described as a ginger matte eyeshadow. To me, it's not ginger matte. This color here remembers me a lot of Courtney by Divina Cosmetics. It's more of a mustardy green shade. It's the perfect in between green and yellow. It's a really unique color to find in a palette. The next color is Taupe, and it's, oh my god, it's not Taupe, it's Decay, sorry. And Decay is described like a matte taupe eyeshadow. Yeah, I don't know, I will say it's more of a green brownish shadow. Really nice color. It's one of those neutral but not neutral colors. I do love to wear these two kind of colors together. Next color is Golden Bridge, Golden Diamond Shimmery Eyeshadow. I would say it's more of a golden olive kind of color. The next one is Moss, and whoa, this is Moss. Grayish green eyeshadow. Venom, which is this bright green, how do they describe this? A green diamond eyeshadow. It remembers me the green highlighter that you use on school, and I love the way the color looks three-dimensional. It's a really nice one. Ouroboros, described as a retro green matte eyeshadow. To me, it's more of those forest green shades. Wolf, beautiful color. Tannish brown eyeshadow. Yeah, it's definitely a tannish brown eyeshadow, again with a really strong yellow undertone. The next color is gonna be Hela, and Hela is described like a matte baby pink eyeshadow, and yeah, it's definitely a matte baby pink eyeshadow. Look, the swatches, I suck at this. The next color is Hellfire, and Hellfire is a pink orange shimmer eyeshadow, and no, I will say it's more of an actual peachy eyeshadow. Really nice, not as unique as I will expect from someone like Angelica, but it's a nice color to have. Then we got Goddess, which is this color here, Goddess. Ooh, that's powdery. And it's described as a vintage rose pink eyeshadow. I will say it's more of a magenta color. Look at these three together. Oh, the perfect pink look. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, now let's go for the most interesting row. The next color is double-sided, which is the color that I am more intrigued by. Double-sided. Look at this. You can see on the pan how the colors change. Wow. Wow. Oh, ooh, you can see even on my finger how the color change. This one is a multi-chrome that shifts gold, green and peach, and I think that it's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's definitely a golden pink peachy eyeshadow. The next color, which looks stunning on the palette, it's River, and River is one of those colors that makes you think, oh my god, River. They describe this one as to be like a multicolor shimmery eyeshadow with a purple base, and you can see the purple base is pretty strong, and the shift to me it's more of a tealish blue multichrome. It's one of those colors that make you go like wow. Suit, this one here, Suit. And Suit is described to be like a matte, oh my god, look, oh wow, matte purple, ooh, look at this, matte purple, purple brown eyeshadow, and I will say this one, it's more of a plummy brown, really deep plummy brown. I cannot wait to make this palette come to life. The next color, it's one color that I was like, ooh, really nice touch to put in a palette, and I love this one here. This one, it's complete, and swatch it on my elbow. Yeah, I will swatch it here. It's described to be like a silver eyeshadow with a black base. And honestly, it's a silver eyeshadow with a black base. It's It's a stunning color. I'm gonna swatch again this two colors down here on my hand, so with my phone we can kind of play a little bit with the lights. So double side and river, double sided, and oh, and then river. Okay. She killed it. She killed it, as always. Angelica Nyqvist, it's one of my favorite YouTuber, and I was kind of containing myself to don't be fangirling over her palette, because the first palette that she released was as a collaboration, of course, was the one with Kaleidos, but I could not grab it because I was not buying makeup in that moment, and I was going through a really unhealthy phase of my mental health. So I could not think about makeup, okay? So but this makes me so sad, because I am a really huge fan of Angelica. So welcome to my fakey hands, and to the first like a comparison kind of part of the video. We're gonna compare the Hela palette with some of my others, Odens eyeshadow palette. I don't have all of them, of course, but I have some. Let me show you which one I have in my collection. So I have the Norns one, which was my first palette by Odens and it's to date one of my favorite eyeshadow palette. And then I have, of course, the rest of the collection, the Scud, the Earth, and the Verdandi. Then I have the three palettes from the Saga of Freya collection, which is the Saga of Freya, that's with the gold camera. And yes, I of course have the three palettes from the Diversa collection, the first three. Those three are not available anymore, but you may have them in your collection and you may want to see how they do compare. So the first color we have here is the shade Rebirth, which is a pastel yellow, and I don't have any other pastel yellow in my Odens eyeshadow collection. Then we have the color Fluorescent. I will swatch them here inside of my arms. I hope you can see my arm. Fluorescent, which I'm gonna swatch it here. Let's swatch the three shimmery green first. Okay, so Fluorescent, Golden Bridge, sorry for my voice, Golden Bridge, and yeah, let's just make this swatch a little bit. This color has a lot of micro shimmers, beautiful. And then we have the color Venom. Venom, it's one of those colors that make you go like, I need it. Okay, in the Norns palette, the only green that I have is the color Green Chameleon. You can actually see that it's nothing like any of those colors. The shade Green Chameleon from Norns is more of a dual chrome with a warm base, and this warm base neutral, and this really beautiful neutral green reflect, which is not the same in this eyeshadow palette, of course. The only shimmery green that the Earth had is this one here, which is definitely way much deeper than all the others, and it's way much deeper. You can see it's not similar to any of the others from Angelica, but I know that this one is one of her Odens eye favorites, so I'm glad that it's I can see her palette combining really well with this palette here. The green in the skewed palette, it's more of a tealish green, so it's not that yet, so I don't feel that I don't need to swatch it. Let me just swatch it close to the other one, because you can see it's completely different. It's a completely different color. I may have something really similar in my Hummingbirds palette. This one, it's one of my favorite companion palettes. The first color here, the shade Feathers, may remember me the color Venom. I don't think so, but it may be similar to the shade Venom. But you can actually see they are the same kind of, oh yeah, this one is more of a highlighter green, and the shade Venom close to this one here looks more cool tone, and this one is definitely way much more warm. In the Red Dragon, the only greenish shade that we have is the shade Solar Flame. Maybe closer here. I'm gonna place it here in the middle. Yeah, and it's a dual chrome kind. Oh, it's a stunning. Yeah, it's a dual chrome kind of color, and yeah, you can see it's nothing like it's completely different. We're gonna test the color Flare, this color here, from the Giant Wolves palette from Annette's Makeup Corner, and I maybe closer to Golden Bridge. Yeah, it's more of a chartreuse shade. You can see all the greens are extremely different in the palette from Angelica. There is nothing closer to the ones that I already have in other palettes. So I shouldn't start with the glittery shades, because now I have green glitter all over my arm, which is amazing. Underworld, you can see Underworld, Decay, and the color Moss. Okay, so this one is the Earth palette, and we have these two greens here, but maybe this color here, which is the color Nostalgia, we can place this color close to the shade Moss here. Yeah, it's way much more deeper than the color Moss in the palette. The color Moss in the palette, it's more of a transition shade, when this one here is more of a crazy shade. From the Verdandi palette, we're gonna swatch the shade Precious, which is this color here, close to the shade Decay, because to me they are kind of similar, but they are not. Yeah, no, they are completely different, and it's a shimmer. No, this one has like nothing. Maybe I don't know why I thought they were similar. They are completely different. Yeah, maybe in the Red Dragon we have something similar. We can try to swatch the color Jade, which is this beautiful green here. So I'm gonna place it close to the shade Moss, because to me they look similar. They are almost the same color. I don't know if you can actually see. This one is Jade. Let me build the color a little bit. And this one is the shade Moss. Let me build the color a little bit. They are almost the same, but I have to say that I don't know if it actually shows in camera, but the one from the Red Dragon, it's warmer than the one in the Angelica palette. And from the Giant Wolves, we have the shade Aphrodite, and it may be no, it's nothing like, I will say, yeah, it's nothing like the ones in the Angelica palette. Let me see. No, we have nothing similar to this color here. This color, it's a mixture between the color from the Earth palette and the color from the Angelica palette. It's right in the middle. I am so glad to have the Versa collection, the Versa eyeshadow palette in my collection, because they bring something actually unique. And you can see there is no similar at all greens. Now we're gonna swatch the deeper green and the shade Wolf. Here we're gonna place the color Ouroboros. Here we go. Yeah, this color, it's stunning. And don't mind the fact that the shadows are not swatching as well as sooner, but my skin is not fresh as sooner, because do the swatch, clean your arm, dry your arm, then redo the swatch, and then the skin kind of gets irritated and drier. Okay, so the next color that I'm gonna swatch is the shade Wolf, which is this really stunning, if you ask me. It's like a mustardy brown shade. It remembers me a lot of the color. Who are old enough to remember Makeup Geek Desert Sand? Yeah, it definitely remembers me of that color. And okay, so let's do some swatches, shall we? From the Saga of Freya, Chapter 2, the cat with the golden carriage. I feel like I said Cambridge sooner. Yeah, whatever. We have this color here, which is Bad Temper. And Bad Temper, it's really similar to the color in the Angelica palette. So let's swatch them side by side. And ooh, yeah, you know what? Again, they are similar, but here when the shadow is not as full as in the so here is where I started to do the swatch. So here is where we have the more pigment, but then here when we have the least pigment, you can see that the color it's kind of different. Not because the color is completely different, but because of the undertone. And if you're deeper than me, you will see the difference of the color, because the deeper you are, the more the undertone shines through, you know. So you can see that the one from the Saga of Freya is way much more cooler, it's more tealish compared to the color from the Hela palette. This one is the Saga of Freya Chapter 1, the Tears of Freya. Here we have the shade Timber, and the shade Timber, it's one of those orangey shades, but yeah, it's not, oh no, the different, it's completely different. Even though it remembers me the color on the Angelica palette, you can see that this one is actually peachy, and the one on the Angelica palette it's more yellowier. In the second page of the palette Saga of Freya, we have the color True. So True, it may be similar, but it still is not that color. Oh my god, the swatch. I did the worst swatch of life. Yeah, whatever. You can see that the shade Truth is more of a yellowier peach shade, and the shade from the Hela palette, which is the shade Wolf, it's more of a actually brown neutral shade. I don't know if you will be able to see the color. I am curious to see if in my Red Dragon we have something similar, because the first color here in the palette, which is the shade Sunrise, is definitely one of those mustardy shade. No, It's similar, it's always a mustardy shade, but the one from Angelica, it's more of a honey mustardy shade, and the one from the Red Dragons it's more like peachy. It's more of a peachy mustardy shade, which sounds disgusting. Peach and mustard. Ugh. Okay, so maybe, but I don't think so. The most similar shade to the shade Ouroboros is the shade Desolate from the shade Wolf. From the Annette's palette, but you can actually see from just here this one is way much cooler. Let me just place it here. Yeah, it's gray. You can see that this one has more of a, I take too much shadow. You can see that this one, it has a more of a gray undertone on it, which make it, I love this palette, and it's made such an amazing job. Okay, so at this point my arm is kind of changing color. We have some irritation started wherever. Hellfire, which is this beautiful peachy color here. I wanna swatch the shade Complete close to another color from the Giant Wolves, so let me place it here. Suit, which is the most pigmented color I have ever seen in my life. Let's start from the palette Erd. This palette here has this one of my all-time favorite deeper shade, and I know Angelica loved this palette as well, and I know she loved this color here as well. So let's compare her shade with the shade from this palette, which is It's Past. Let's swatch them closer. Yes, you can see they are not dupe by any means. The one from Angelica, it's way much more plum, and the one from the Earth palette is way much more brown. So the one from Angelica, it's a plum with a brown undertone, and the one from the shade from the palette Earth, it's a brown with a plum undertone. I don't know if you can see, but they are different, not different enough to be used together in the same look, but they are complete. They will bring your look to completely different zones. Okay, in the Saga of Freya we have the color Crush, which is a kind of a peachy shade. So let's compare it with the color from the Angelica palette. Let me just see if I am okay on frame. Yeah, oh, this one it's even shinier. Yeah, but the one from the Saga of Freya palette, it's way much more pinkier than the one from the Angelica palette. From the Verdun, the eyeshadow palette, we have this peachy here, but I already know it's a different formula. As you can see, I use this color a lot. No, it's different, you can already see. This one here, it's a peachy topper shade with extremely, I can build it up for you, but it will never get opaque. This color here never goes opaque. This color here, it's one of those, let me bring your shadow color to the next level. It's nothing special. It's nothing special by itself. It's not peachy. It looks peachy in the pan, but it's not peachy at all. Oh, from the Saga of Freya, we have the color Pink Ice here, which could be a really peach. It's not peachy, let's be real, but it's kind of similar, but you can see it's more of a rose gold shade. Yeah. I don't really know why I actually swatched it for you, but here we have it. From the palette Hummingbirds, we have this really unique, really cool tone plum gray shade. Let's swatch it close to the shade from Angelica so you can see how neutral it is. Can you see how cool tone? Oh, this one is stunning. And you can see how cool tone this one is. This one is a plum with a gray undertone. So here we have the 3 plums, a plum with a gray undertone, a plum with a brown undertone, and a plum brown with a plum undertone. You can see they are actually different, similar but still different. From the giant wolves, we have really dark deep colors, and let's swatch them side by side. From this palette here we have the shade Howling, which is this color here, and this color here has a something plum, but it's more similar from the one from the Hummingbird's palette than from the one from Angelica palette. Let me just swatch them so you can actually see. Yeah, no, this one is definitely way much similar to the one from the Hummingbirds. This one is more of a aubergine kind of shade. How you say? Do you say aubergine? But we have the color this color here, which I cannot pronounce the name, which is a deepened. It's really deepened, yeah. But you can see it has a black undertone, but it has more of a purple blue shift. This color here, it's a must-have. I hope you have this palette. I hope so much for you, because you're gonna hate me if you don't have this palette. I will swatch on my hand here because my arm is burning. So I will swatch it here, okay? I don't know how Amanda from Makeup for Fun just do this over and over and over again. My arm is burning. Okay, whatever. I want to swatch the color double-sided here, which is the most, if you have to buy this eyeshadow here just for one color, girl, here you have it. This one is the color that you need in your life. Can you actually see it? I don't know, let me swatch it here for you on my fatty hand, so you can actually see really well the swatch. Can you see how this color change with lights? Is it green? Is it peach? Is it pink? It's everything. It's like everything you have in the palette, but in one color. Okay, let me close my Hela palette, which is hella beautiful. And let's swatch this beautiful color side by side with this palette here from this color here from Nerds, which is the pink champagne, which honestly from online swatches I was like, okay, they may be almost the same color. Let me show you how I was wrong. First of all, the texture, it's completely different. Pink champagne, it's similar. It has similar vibes because them both are multi-chromes, but are they the same? Definitely not. Let's see that the one from Hela Palette has more of a peach reflect, and the one from the Odens palette has more of a pink reflect. This one is the Earth palette. You can see this one is the Earth palette, and you may have something actually similar here. I hope it's not killing you to reflect. Okay, let me just you can see, here we go, this one here, it's more transparent, and yeah, it has this one is more like a top, this one is more of an actual top coat, and the one from Angelica, it's more of a shadow palette, a shadow color. Yeah, I will compare, if you will, this one here with the color in the Wolf palette, but they are nothing alike. I'm sorry. I will swatch it, but it has like nothing to do with it. Yeah, no way. This one is more of a metallic shade, that it's white with golden shift. From the Saga of Freya palette, we have this one here, which is the shade Promise. And yeah, I was like, yeah, it may be similar. No, it's completely different. Let me show you with my phone how this color are actually different from one to other. They are completely different. Even the two shades, which are the first two shades, which are the most similar, which is the one from the Norns and the one from the Hela palette, they are different enough. So, conclusion, you won't find any dupes. You may find something similar, but you won't find any dupes. So, yeah. I hope this was helpful some way for you. Let me know down below if you wanna to see this palette compared with something else. I don't know, maybe with other brands. Let me know down below, okay? So those was the swatches. I hope this video was helpful. If you wanna see how these colors work on someone else, different skin tone, I hope you liked the video. If you wanna see some inspirational looks using this palette, stay tuned. Just subscribe and turn on the notification so you can actually be notified when I post more videos, because really soon I'm gonna post multiple looks using the same palette, using this palette here, okay? So see you soon. Bye bye.